Hi, this is Leslie from Happy Daycare. Oh, hey, hi. Yes, your baby's running 100-degree fever. When can we come pick him up? Oh my God. I'll be right there. Hi, this is Jessica from Star Quality Beauty. Please hit the thumbs up button and and if you have any comments on this video, please comment in the comment box below. Also, subscribe. So the subject of this video today is about single parent. I am a single parent. I, once upon a time before I started this whole new enterprise of mine, had a very demanding job. I was a vice president at a very large banking institution, and I was a single mom, and it was really hard, especially during those grind years, if you know what I'm talking about, where you are required to travel a lot, you have a very demanding client base, and you've got presentations in many different cities, and it's just a very challenging time for anyone, even if you have a spouse or if you have a lot of help. It could be very stressful. So I wanted to share some things, some of my insights about being a single parent with a really challenging job. And I've got some notes here that I'm going to be using to help guide my discussion. I think one of the first things that you have to do and really kind of look inside is you have to plan. And I'm not the greatest at planning, I will just be very honest with you, but you have to plan what it is that you are going to commit your time to, because you have a very limited amount of time. If you're anything like me, I had a long commute. I had to be back to pick up my kid from daycare at 6:30 when I actually had him in daycare, and it was just a freaking nightmare sometimes. So it really had to plan, even during the day, even my work commitments, what happy hours I could go to, what what different activities that I could sign up for volunteer-wise, what things my son could be involved with, because there are certain times that I have to be back, at the school, or when he was very young and was a baby, it was kind of like one of those things like, oh, I could go to this happy hour, or I could spend a little bit more time with my son. You've got to be very clear about what your priorities are. So plan, use a calendar, whatever it takes to signal you that, it's time to go. I remember I would have a calendar reminder pop up at 2 p.m. to let me know it's time to start wrapping up at 2 p.m. so that anything that could possibly, really kind of tying up those loose ends starting at 2, so that by the time 5:30 rolled around, I was ready to go so that I could make it back to pick up my son before the cutoff time. And I was notoriously late sometimes, notoriously late. And shout out to, the daycare back in the day, because I know they had to love me because I paid quite a bit in late fees. Another thing is that when you have to take time off, I know that it's really difficult sometimes to take time off. It's almost like they make you feel guilty for leaving. A trick that I learned, and I learned this the very hard way, is that you do not have to disclose why you need to take time off. I think a lot of times you feel as if you need to explain yourself. Oh, my son is sick. Oh, I have to go to the doctor. Oh, whatever the case may be, I find that the more that you disclose about your personal life, as far as taking care of your kids, it just kind of depends on your work environment. So I'm coming from a very strict, banking, everybody's nose to the grindstone, and everybody is, well, not everyone, but most of the guys that I worked with, and there's predominantly, male environment where they had stay-at-home wives that took care of their kids. And here I am, this scrappy young chick that's a single mom. They really didn't understand my world. So when I would, tell them that my son needs to go get a shot at the doctor, or he needs to go to the hospital, because my son had very bad allergies when he was an infant. And so I took off a lot of time, used a lot of my vacation time sitting in a hospital, and a lot of my vacation time going to follow-up appointments and things like that. And when I told them that, they kind of looked at me differently. You know what I mean? And you don't want that to happen. Perception is very important in those environments. And so it's just best to say, I need to take some time off, leave it at that. You know, just leave it at that. And if it's a professional environment, and I'm thinking that you work in one, that's enough. That's enough of a reason. And it's paid time off. It's yours to take, so take it. All right? I'm really bitter about that, because people should be able to be honest about their situation and not be hated on. But that's what happened. And it's a shame. It really is a shame. Another thing is, because you're so independent, and I know that I was like this, I'm not like this anymore as much, except when people offer to help you. When someone sees you taking in groceries and they're like, you need some help? Say yes. It's okay to say yes to help. And people want to help you, and sometimes I know when you're really busy and you're very focused, it's hard to even recognize when you need the help that you need. But when you start to open yourself up to letting people come into your world a little bit and letting people offer their assistance, it makes them feel good, and it really does help you, because you definitely deserve the help. This is a difficult road to hoe. Road to hoe. What's the saying? It's a difficult burden to bear. There you go. It's a difficult burden to bear. So when someone offers to help you, say yes, because you deserve the help. You really do. You're really doing a fantastic job being strong, and it never hurts to have somebody try to, you know, lift that burden for you and with you. Oh, a big one I have on my list. So when you're planning and you're accepting help, it's very easy to get comfortable with just, you know, your one or two different caregivers that you have set up. Like for me, it was my mother and my brother. And looking back, I probably could have done a much better job when my son was very young of really kind of distributing who could take care of my son. And if you're anything like me, like I had my mother and my brother who gave me hell every time I needed to use them for anything, but we'll talk about that in another video. It just pays to start really early looking for alternate caregivers that are not related to you and who aren't affiliated with your daycare, because sometimes it will be necessary to have kind of a last minute thing. You know, you've got to stay late. There's this last minute, like the big boss is in town, everybody's going out for drinks. You're like, who am I going to get to pick up my baby? You know, it's a big stressor, and I know it was a big stressor for me. So it's nice to have somebody that ideally lived close to your house that could go, fill in and go pick up your baby, or pick up your son or your toddler, whomever, and keep them for a few hours while you showed your face, shook the boss's hand, and then kind of scurried home. And sometimes it takes a lot of time to build those relationships. For me, it was very difficult to try to meet my neighbors. It was crazy. Or to use like a care.com or a sittercity.com, where you have to kind of screen and use their background checks and meet them and take the time to do it. But take the time to find like 3 to 4 different people that you can call on that are close, that you trust, or basically that you can trust. I mean, I don't think there's any way you can get around that part, but it's very important to do it before the crisis happens, because when it happens, it's like full on crazy, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? The other thing is that, you should take time to, do something nice for yourself, because it's hard being a single parent, and it's hard having a really tough career, and I do realize that, and I'm here for you. This channel is all about being single and being a single parent and being a fabulous, beautiful woman. And I feel as if one of my biggest callings is to make other women's lives easier. And so I hope this video has been helpful. I hope I've kind of confirmed some of the things that you've been thinking about. There's more to come. I'm going to try to post videos daily. I know I said new videos every Wednesday, but there's just so much inside of me that I like to share. I'm probably going to be posting daily. So I hope you have a great day. Happy Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Oh, before I go, please subscribe. I have 1 subscriber. Oh, yeah. And hopefully this is helpful enough for someone else who will want to see what's going to happen tomorrow. So more to come. Bye-bye.